Everyone, welcome to the Newton Township Supervisors meeting for February 24th, 2025. Please join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Coordinate executive session before this meeting to discuss personnel and company matters. And before I turn it over to Chief for the first presentation, I think I can say for all of our board here tonight that I would like to extend to all of the family members of our police department our great thanks for your sacrifice and your dedication to this department. Considering what happened over the weekend, we truly appreciate the department and everyone who was part of it. So thank you very much. Chief.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So of course we have something going on tonight.
Another on the street.
The streets are very secret. So thank you for recognizing that. You know, the families do sacrifice a lot for what our police officers do. Typically, when I have the opportunity, I like to thank them as well, because you know our officers aren't always home at night. They're not there on holidays, they're not there on birthdays and such. So it's tonight when we celebrate these promotions, we're also celebrating and including the families. So thank you so much for it. So, Madam Chair, we have promotions tonight. We'll be promoting the following to the rank of sergeant. That'll be Corporal Mark Duncan, Corporal Ryan Linsky, Corporal Richard Mitchie, Corporal Michael Sand. And the following will be advanced to Corporal, Detective Sean McGuire, and PSC Paul Linsky. So we'll start with Corporal Mark Duncan. Soon to be.
Just stand this way. Let me get all the pictures. Who's taking pictures? Good evening, everyone. Most of the gentlemen in the back know who I am. I'm Judge Regina Armitage, and I imagine there's a lot of family here supporting all these. Thank you, Stephanie. Give me my water. All these well-deserved promotions tonight, and I'm honored to be here. So with that, I will start with sergeant. Well, corporal. I mean, soon to be sergeant. Let me just put it out there right now. It's still going to be officer going forward, okay? Because I forget, and it's not just this department. I got a couple. So, mind repeater. I, Mark Duncan.
I, Mark Duncan,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth
and that I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth
and the ordinances of New Britain Township,
and the ordinances of New Britain Township,
and that I will discharge my duties of my office as sergeant
and I will discharge the duties of my office as sergeant
for New Britain Township with honor and fidelity.
for New Britain Township with honor and fidelity.
I do further swear
I do further swear
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce
the law without consideration
the law without consideration
to a person's race, color, sex,
to a person's race, color, sex,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
age, national origin,
age, national origin,
ancestry, handicap, disability.
ancestry, handicap, or
Disability.
disability.
Congratulations, Sergeant.
Thanks, Chief. Okay, next will be Corporal Ryan Lipsky.
Did you memorize? All right. Repeat after me. I, Ryan Litchfield,
I, Ryan Lischke,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth
and I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth
and the ordinances of New Britain Township,
and the ordinances of New Britain Township,
and that I will discharge my duties
and that I will discharge my duties
of my office as Sergeant for New Britain Township
of the office of Sergeant for New Britain Township
with honor and fidelity.
with honor and fidelity.
I do further swear that I will uphold, obey, and enforce.
I do further
Further swear,
I will uphold,
obey,
obey,
and
and enforce
the law without consideration
the law without consideration
to a person's race, color, sex,
to a person's race, color, sex,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
age, national origin,
age, national origin,
ancestry, handicap, or disability.
ancestry, handicap, or disability.
You did it. You got through it. Congratulations. Said I'm not wearing a vest. So she can't. You don't trust me. Oh, right.
That was Corporal C. Richard Mitchie.
Repeat it. Say your name. Say your name. Don't say it. I, C. Richard Mitchie II,
I, C. Richard Mitchell II,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth
and that I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth
and the ordinances of New Britain Township,
and the ordinances of New Britain Township,
and that I will discharge my duties of my office as Sergeant, and that I will discharge my duties of my office
as Sergeant
for New Britain Township
for New Britain Township,
with honor and fidelity.
with honor and fidelity.
I do further swear
I do further swear
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce
the law without consideration
the law without consideration
to a person's race, color, sex,
for the race, color, sex,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
age, national origin,
age, national origin,
ancestry, handicap, or disability.
ancestry, handicap,
Or
or
disability.
disability.
Congratulations, Sergeant.
And next up would be Corporal Michael Sant.
Extra fancy. I thought everybody had such a hard time, but then I realized I'm the one with the words in front of me, so it doesn't. All right. I, Michael Sant,
I, Michael Sanders,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth
will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth
and the ordinances of New Britain Township,
and the ordinances of New Britain Township,
and that I will discharge my duties
discharge my duties
of my office as Sergeant for New Britain Township
with office Sergeant of New Britain Township
with honor and fidelity.
with honor and fidelity.
I do further swear
I do further swear
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce
I will uphold, obey, and enforce
the law without consideration
the law without consideration
to a person's race, color, sex,
of a person's race, color, sex,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
age, national origin,
age, national origin,
ancestry, handicap, or disability.
ancestry, handicap, and disability.
Disability. You did it. Congratulations.
Okay, now for the corporals. First gift will be Detective Sean McGuire.
This one would be corporal detective. Corporal. Okay. All right. I, Sean McGuire,
I, Sean McGuire,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth
and I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth,
and the ordinances of New Britain Township, and that I will discharge my duties
and I will discharge my duties
of my office as corporal for New Britain Township. Of my office as corporal
as my office of corporal in New Britain Township
with honor and fidelity.
with honor.
I do further swear
I do further swear
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce
the law without consideration
the law without consideration
to a person's race, color, sex,
to the person's race, color, sex,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
age, national origin,
age, national origin,
ancestry, handicap, or disability.
ancestry, and practice.
Incorrect, or disability. You said-
Disability.
Okay, just want to make sure. Congratulations. Save the best for last.
That concludes our. We do have one more. PSC Paul Zelinski.
At least. You do have. If anybody wanted to. I, Paul Zelinski,
I, Paul Zelinski,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth
and that I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth
and the ordinances of New Britain Township,
and the ordinances of New Britain Township,
and that I will discharge my duties of my office
and that I will discharge my duties of my office
as corporal for New Britain Township
as corporal for New Britain Township
with honor and fidelity.
with honor and fidelity.
I do further swear
I do further swear
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce
the law without consideration
the law without consideration
to a person's race, color, sex,
to a person's race, color, sex,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
age, national origin,
age, national origin,
and the last three words, ancestry, handicap, or disability.
ancestry, handicap, or disability.
They know I'm supposed to be at. Yeah, just bring it. Yeah, there's something, just say. Oh.
Got you all the new sergeants and soldiers up here for a group picture.
How do we look at this? Got to create like,
Two rows. Two rows. Did you guys all look for it? Oh.
We're gonna have to like squish.
Yeah,
We gotta
explore.
Okay, ready?
Hey.
Smile. Good.
Yeah. Actually, can we get one? Yeah.
Mike.
Oh, is it? I'm gonna never got it.
Ready?
Is that Would it ever?
Good.
All right.
All right, no probation for here. Thank you all for coming tonight. Appreciate it. Thanks for your support.
Mark.
Good night.
It's old timers night today. Party. You guys got the seat. I'm leaving again. You were just going to be to say something. Sir, thanks for coming. Try and say congratulations.
Thanks, Judge.
Pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to presentation number 2. We have invited the Chalmont New Britain Joint Sewer Authority, our representatives, and John Larson. So would you guys all like to come up and what's your presentation?
I'm Tim Hagee. I'm probably the longest serving here on New Britain Township, but I'm Dustin Campbell. I've been on board, I think, 3 years this time and 5 previously about 10 years.
And Mike Sullivan.
And I'm John Larson, I'm the executive director. Okay, we sit.
Yes, absolutely.
Preston has been in this business, in the water sewer business for decades. So he's been on the board and it's the second tour. And Mike not only ran water sewer businesses. I've been executive director for decades. I've been on authority boards for decades. And I manage water sewer authority. John Larson, we hired in the end of 2023. But I talked about the experience of the board members, and I think the experience is great, but the ability to work together for the service of the community is really do well. And we have a pretty good board, including the borough representatives. We all work together to solve the problems and make the authority run effectively as efficiently as we can. John came on board after John Schmidt retired. John was a long-term, 25 years? 40. She was 45, but yeah, 40 plus years. A lot of years. But John Larson's got some special skills. We're very pleased to have him. He came in, we were having trouble in 2024. The performance of the wastewater facility improved greatly. We're really appreciative of his efforts and the fact that some of the work that was contemplated is probably not going to need to be done, and saving the ratepayers millions of dollars. So we all know. I think I'd be remiss to thank them. The police officers this evening, saying thank you and for your service. Former elected official, and it's tough. And in these times, so thank you for your service to the community. It makes me written for you. With that, I'll take it, turn it over to John Larson. He's going to do it 30,000.
Yeah, like Mr. Hayden said, we went through a lot of changes, particularly managerially and operationally. We hired several new staff members, a few that left through retirement, which gave us the opportunity to kind of start over and change the whole mindset of the staff and how we operate, and really what our goal is to do that. So we've had some really positive changes with that. We've seen it in our compliance that our firm is going to drop to improve. We are in the middle of an upgrade, somewhere between $5 and $10 million. Phase one, we've submitted our application to our all of our two permit. We're going to receive that application in construction as soon as we receive it. Phase two and phase three are still going to be conversations. They'll follow on with the phase one. We broke it into phases because there's a lot of work you need to do immediately without the need to wait for the whole engineering process of really getting into what else we need. So we wanted to tackle some of those projects as quickly as we could. So that's why we broke into 3 files for our activity. And spend less time sitting on our hands waiting to get to the final solution. That's underway, and we're anticipating, schedules are tough with construction, but right now we're anticipating completion sometime probably late 2027.
So is that, when you say upgrade, is that expanding it or just improving the facilities that are?
It is not expanding it. The plant capacity will stay at very low, it's just improving what's there. One of the big things we've looked at, and again, we had a project that was teed up when I got there, but one of the things we started to look at is how can we garner more efficiency out of this business on a project. How can we be more efficient with our energy, with our chemicals? Those are 2 of our biggest budget items. So we really focused heavily on what we can do in the process to improve the process, but also give us energy savings, chemical savings for the operations.
So if there's no expansion, how do you see the capacity of the plant with the development that's in the air?
Yeah, we're well teed up to what we can see on the horizon. Obviously, we don't have our crystal balls out, try to get everything. We're working on a shop and I feel like. So one of the things that we do with that is our 5-year projection. We're not out there years 1, 2, or 3 easy to project. Years 4, 3, 4, 5 gets you more of kind of a best guess with what's out there. with what we currently see on the horizon, we don't have any capacity issues. If we ever started bumping up against our capacity, we would put a real plan. It was just no need to do that and go through the cost at this stage without necessity to be able to support growth. We're prepared to do that, but we also are taking on the additional cost. One of the things that we know about is we're just under 5 million gallons a day. If we break that 5 million gallon mark, we can do all of our permitting changes. And it brings in quite a bit more cost on a daily operations, on our daily operations budget, because of the need to start sampling 7 days a week, because we need to start implementing LPC programs to that 3 years. Some of those things that we aren't currently mandated to have to do, where we could scale up and create a plant for a capacity over 5 million gallons a day. So our plant has the ability to do that. We don't want to access that right now because it brings other costs.
How about the cost to the residents? I know you were saying if you didn't want to add those costs and burdens to the public, how does that factor into what we're doing?
So obviously, we're very conscious of our costs. So, the past probably 3 or 4 years is one that everybody's very focused on. Our costs have gone up. We've definitely been, particularly as it relates to energy costs. We've not raised our rates since 2023. We implement the rate increase even though not 2025. We still are in the lower third of all the neighboring sewer authorities for our sewer. So we're very proactive with costs, not to so about raise them. That's just a hard reality. But we are very conscious of that. We try to operate more minimize the size of the.
What is the average quarterly?
Our average quarterly, I believe it's around 170 some, but I can confirm that to you.
And what was it before?
Well, we don't 12.5%, so it was around probably 150. Yeah, it equated to less than $25 a quarter on our average user. When we did 12.5%.
Is that on consumption?
Yeah. Yeah, we do have flat rate users, but the majority of ours are bill consumption. The only flat rate properties we have are properties that are still served by private wells, and we offer for those customers as well to be on consumption. That's a choice for the resident if they want to be. If they want to remain flat rate, they can, but we also have a meter program that they can acquire a meter from us and have a meter consumption meter for now.
So then other than the plant, do you have any other maintenance projects?
We just applied for a grant for the $1 million grant. They were going to do some work in collection. We would obviously be proactive. One of the things that happens is become very dry year. Our flows are down significantly, but when it's wet and we get rain, we have time in our system. So that's a low hanging fruit. The more that we can trim off, the less it comes to the plant, less it costs. So that's one of the things that we're getting to focus on right now. Plant was the first priority we have for December. We've got that pretty well set on a path that now we can start focusing on and trying to evade some of the filtration.
We're all facing that with having to raise our rates because of inflation and things are going on.
It's an unfortunate scenario, but we're all in the same pool with that, right? You know?
So how are we with using the well?
Yeah.
Where we project even future capacities.
Yeah.
But like overall, if we're 100% capacity, how much of that?
So New Britain, Shell Plant New Britain are about 48% of our daily flow combined. I don't know how that splits between Shell Plant and New Britain Township because we don't meter them independently. But Shell Plant New Britain are about 48% of our flow. The other 52% comes from Los Angeles. So about 52% of what we treat for this water.
But like how operations are
Okay.
compared to the total output and capacity.
Yeah.
How much capacity?
Oh, so the plant is permitted for 4.6 million gallons. Right now, we're averaging about 3 million gallons. Is that because of the dry season?
So that's our running 24-month average. So the dry season does pull that down some, but it's not, we're not skewed down. If we look at our recent probably 6 month, our average is actually in the high 1 to low 2 million gallon range. If I look at a 24-month running average rate, low 3 million gallon average. So we've got, again, that's a sliding scale rate of a long stretch of wet weather will drive that average up. But playing on the averages, we've got quite a bit of capacity.
You, Stoll, you, Preston, have anything to add or?
I do with the supervisors, from our recent reappointment to the authority. Wanted to do something for the municipality and the city of and we were fortunate to find John. We did a comprehensive search and Mr. Smith retired, and John comes from an operational background, so I think he brought another perspective in that position. And he's also the association jobs of regional director for the association. I have meeting vice president, that's how they about. So we're all president of this industry, and we love to do it all the time. So
Thank you for the survey.
I just have one comment. It's been a pleasure working with John. I think when we first started, we were working on the project together. And, I've known Mr. Schmidt for a long time here since I've been here a few years myself, but it's been a pleasure to see John and new ideas. You have a great board, a lot of experience. I know John has a lot of things for the future to take it to the next level. So it was a pleasure working with John's knowledge and look forward to working with him.
Well, we thank you all. We thank you for your wonderful service and great stewardship with this wonderful authority. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for coming today.
You might be able to get some cake.
That's Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Moving on to agenda item number 5, motion to consider consent agenda. Consent agenda A, approve minutes from January 27, 2025 Board of Supervisors meeting. B, approve regular bills list as follows, dated January 30th, 2025, in the amount of $35,490.38. February 19th, 2025, in the amount of $320,965.64. Agenda item C, prepaid bills list dated January 30th, 2025, in the amount of $364,655.20. February 6th, in the amount of $43,552.67. February 13th, in the amount of $11,143.93. February 19th, in the amount of $161,435.28. Agenda item D, approve escrow release 2 for Fox Lane Homes at High Point in the amount of $535,414.94. E, approve 98 Railroad Avenue Water Resource Easement Agreement. F, approve 702 New William Road Stormwater O&M Agreement. And G, approve planning module for the 140 Upper Church Road, Macedonte Homes subdivision. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, including the items just read.
Do I have a second? So first by Mary Beth, second by Stephanie. Are there any questions or concerns from the board?
I think we need to know, Mr. Engineer, about the sewer planning or the planning.
No, in fact, the planning laws for minor subdivision, unfortunately, they had to go through the planning process, so it's really doing them. Everything's in order. I noticed in the packet, it was such a small project, we didn't email approval, engineers, so everything's in order.
That being said, I call the question. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Action item, agenda item 6, action items. A, discuss e-cycling and shredding event planned for May 31st, 2025. Alex.
Yes, so last year, I'm sure the board
board is aware that we've had many recycling events and we do not have a shredding event. So this year, Sue and myself have been contacting several companies in order to make that happen for residents. We found a company called E-Commerce Compliance that actually partnered with Pico for a lot of food recycling. And then we were also able to lock in a company called Titan Shredding. So they would be able to work on the same day. They compete with each other. What I'm proposing is we originally had this plan for May 3rd, 2025, but in order to get both companies on the same time, I needed to make the first. So upon approval, I would be updating the most recent newsletter that's going to come out, the website, and their social media. They're also less expensive in total than what would be. Yeah.
So any other questions from the board?
Yeah, I was just checking my Memorial Day list that we would have. That.
It's the weekend.
Yeah.
So good.
And also, I like the initiative, you were sort of putting together and put something for participants. I think that's been a goal of us to have more community events. So thank you for writing nice words.
Do I need a motion to change the date? No. So we are all in agreement that May 31st is an appropriate date for the state? Thank you, Alice.
Yep.
Okay. Action item B, consider a motion to accept the recommendation for the LV tournament for March 29th and 30th.
Yes, yeah, the Park and Rec Board has recommended that this be approved. It's kind of slipped through the cracks. Believe it or not, one of our last meetings, we decided that these kind of applications don't necessarily need supervisors. We just work on the recommendation of the park. So it doesn't mean anything else, but since it did, I'm asking the board to go with the recommendation.
Do I have a motion to accept the recommendation from the Park and Rec Board regarding the LV baseball weekend tournament? Stephanie, do I have a second? Bridget, all those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Agenda item 7, information items. Dan, we'll start with finance.
Yes, you have the finance report. First month is really hard to get any trends. We did include a couple of new reports in there. And they're basically information reports. If you have any detailed questions on those, certainly would be happy to answer them individually. Kristen thought that the board may like some of these, so it's going to be one of those ones you put them in, you like them, you keep them in, you don't like them, you pull them out. One thing I will point out in the finance report, which is actually interesting, is we received $27,000 in interim real estate transfer accounts. Okay. What that tells us is projections we're doing for the new developments are actually coming through. We budgeted $60,000 for the year, so we anticipate that we will hit that number. Again, that affects our income tax. But what we're also seeing, and we saw it last year, is the resale of existing properties has dropped. We missed that number in the budget by about $60,000. And again, that's just a state of the economy. There's low supply. People will call it rate lock. They're locked into, everybody has those 3% mortgages. Why would you move it if you don't have to? So until things change, we're going to see more with the new transfers. The old ones will kind of lag behind, but we're anticipating that. And eventually we will run through all the new construction. I believe our last major development is coming in, it's start to build this year, over its development. So my guess is they probably will start, they may occupy before the end of the year, they might have a unit occupied by mostly next year. They'll probably be 26 and 27 if that goes out. So we just need to keep that in mind. But I just want to point that out in the financial report.
Park and Recreation.
Yeah, it's a tough time of year for park and recreation, not really tough, but they're just doing a lot of maintenance work. They are assisting in the salting and the maintaining of the roads. But Bill has put together a report showing you some of the things they've been doing. If you have any questions on his report, I'll certainly bring them back again and give the answers. I don't know.
Just thank you for probably getting that dead tree out of there. It's been there as long as I can remember.
Yeah, I see that.
I may just make a comment that we may want to put up, new dumping signs back where they cleaned out, because a lot of that debris they cleaned out was placed there while the neighbors are back in the space.
Yeah, that's all, that's an occurrence in any development. When you back up to open space, that becomes the brush dumping.
Well, we've had concerns raised about brush fires.
Now, I understand, but it happens, we try and police it, but. Yes.
Just a thought, maybe.
No,
it's
I get it.
Like, bring it to mind.
Okay.
Just about the trail, I know that we do not maintain them with the snow and salt and stuff, but how often would they go back there now, considering that we have the windstorm?
So
It's back there
they
too?
check all, whenever there's an event like that where trees are down, they will run the trails to make sure that they're clear.
Okay.
They usually do that the day after the day.
Okay.
After they take care of all of our issues and your road issues, it's on the list to do. I asked Ryan that specific question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Public Works.
Public Works, just a couple things, Ryan's report's pretty good. He forgot to note on there that they did the Christmas tree collection and they moved them up. Just to give you an idea, the winter has been extremely busy. You can see that just in the month of January, 600 tons of salt. For the year to date, or the season to date, we obviously started. We're at 1,700 tons of salt at $60 a ton. So we're about $113,000 so far this year. But last year we had $20,000. So it does balance itself out, but we're prepared. Salt's one of those things that you want to buy, you have to do that. One of the things I did ask Ryan to do, I know we don't brine, and the town I live in doesn't. So I asked him at the end of the season, during the summer, to check around with other towns around here to do it, and find out if, when we have an event, that we go out as soon as it starts because the road starts. So the brine buys you 2 hours. It delays you about 2 hours to go out to them. So that 2 hours times how many events, times how many men, what's the cost of the brine? Then there's other events where you don't have to. We were out this past weekend, the weekend before. They didn't go out in my town because they had brine. They didn't need to go. So I'm just trying to get an idea, just to see if it makes sense or not. I've never been in a town with brine. I just want to make sure we're not missing something. That's all.
Yeah, that's a curious, because I know a couple of townships around here, New Britain Borough, used to brine and they no longer do.
Yeah, it's one of those things, small boroughs, because it takes equipment. You're going to take a truck or 2 trucks and you're going to put the big containers on them to spray. So you're going to take those out of the salt rotation. So a smaller town doesn't have the capacity to do it, but the bigger towns, I'm just interested to see what the math is. And we're just going to do a math problem and see if it makes sense or not. So.
Yeah, and I remember something about there was a debate whether or not it's really effective or not.
I can just.
That's an engineering question.
Yeah, I mean, I can just tell you
You're a traffic person.
From the town I live in.
Yeah.
We do run, and I just, so when Ryan calls me, he says they're going out, now obviously, I, not necessarily right next door, but a lot of these storms have been heavier in the south than they've been in the north.
Yes.
So I'm like looking and saying, they're not out here yet because the roads are running and they're already being, it's already melting, it's melting, and then it's like once it gets above 1.5 inches. There's a point where it stops being effective. But what does that buy us in time? And manpower. And materials. Because each time you do a salt run,
And for some of these storms that are less than an inch, doesn't mean you don't have to go solid.
No.
Or you only have to
and that's
spot
what
salt.
I
in
just
certain
want
places.
we just want to explore, take a look at it. So, anyway.
And ask Chief if you've had experience in other areas and other departments.
I know it's intensive. EMS in Norristown, they started with bought the tanks and did the brining and all. And that part, I mean, it's intense, and it takes manpower to get all that stuff together too, so.
But the beauty of that is, normally you brine during working. So your first application is always during working hours. Before you
Our
out.
storms are always Saturday and
I'm
Sunday.
just looking at hours.
Well,
If you know the storm's coming on Saturday, you can put the brine down on Friday.
Right, yeah.
And again, it's one of those things I just want to take a look at. I've never done the math on it. I've never done.
I've noticed all of our storms are on that.
They always go Saturday or
Saturday or
holidays.
Sunday, yeah.
Or holidays.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Well, Thursday night was an interesting
Yeah.
night.
so that's Ryan's report.
Okay.
A
Please.
little bit of money.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, so, you have my report of January in front of you. You'll notice that we updated our goals and objectives for 2024. Otherwise, if you have any questions, I do have a personnel issue. And mentioned that, I'm not sure it's you. So we do have,
I am not.
Officer Kamatic, will be taking a job in Florida. We'll be leaving, we'll actually be leaving the middle of this month. He'll be, no, this month. March 15th. Next month. So he'll be leaving in the middle of March, however, he will be using his time to stay on the books. Sometime. So we're working to accept applications, so that we.
I saw you. Have had any patients ever yet?
I have 3 so far.
Probably,
It's on March 7th, and then March 13th.
I noticed that some of our statistics are down. You sign that to be freezing cold weather may get people at home rather than.
It's possible, we did, despite the weather, January, we did meet one of our goals in accident reduction. So, there were less people on the roads. Also for,
So, the Crime Watch application that we use, I know that in this past term, I have joined quite a few of these. Either of them, but there was lots of information about. I know we only had one road officially closed for a long time, but do we have our traffic person or someone who's going to use that application a little bit more during
Yeah,
storms
so
and events? And
all
things?
the supervisors have access to it. Basically, everybody that got the notice has access to it. So if there's one of them working, yeah, it's expected that they'll do something. Sometimes it gets, when we have incidents like that, we're running around a lot too. It's not the issue we had with one of the stores recently was not our roadways, but the state roadways. We called PennDOT, we requested the radio room to call PennDOT numerous times, just as everybody around us was too, because for whatever reason, this region PennDOT really dropped the ball on. And that's kind of where we see our issues. So we'll try to stay more up to date with
I just see it as a great way of communicating with the community, getting them to.
Right, that's the goal.
Thank you. Anything else?
And I made certain to point out to people on Facebook when they complained about certain roads, point out that township, it wasn't township. All that. Because they were, yeah, they ignore this area a lot.
Engineers report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have our February report. No on the agenda is the North Branch Park. Before I get to that, some more lengthy discussion, just an update. Keller Road Bridge, we, because of the weather, unfortunately, and all the delays, I believe Mr. Fox said, we updated the board management report, but we had to apply for a GP11 permit. We had already anticipated that. So that allows us to actually get into creek and water since we missed our opportunity with the delay, not from our end at all. The townships took too long for DEP to approve the emergency permit. The ordinances, I know a lot of discussion on the zoning and saldo updates. That's on the planning commission tomorrow night. And then the AC is looking at the following week. I'll be at both meetings. Get comments hopefully back soon. County. And then we'll huddle up and see what we get. So give some direction on that. And then on Toll Brothers, first run, Dan mentioned it, for discussion with the waste president over there. They're looking to have pre-construction meetings. They're working on getting financial security. It takes a while internally with them. The agreements are, there's minor edits on the agreements. So once those agreements are executed, escrow is posted, we'll be set up a pre-construction meeting. They like to get started with the current model selling. They will like to get started obviously this year. I doubt they will sell anything this year, but I did speak to Dan Scott, so we're close to the end on that. You should see some activity this spring. So the last thing is updates on the North Branch Park Pine Run project. I believe Dan and I spoke or updated you at the last meeting. And since then, the grant, I knew it was coming. I didn't realize a short deadline, but the Greenways Trails Recreation Program grant put out by Department of Community and Economic Development, PCD. They had a $250,000 grant, and I think it fits perfectly with what we're trying to do. Now, it's not large grants. I think you didn't realize I was just trying to get a pile on grants, so this is how you get going. It's a planning grant, so it's actually for land acquisition, which is not something you have to worry about. Anything that we've done prior to the application is not qualified. Okay, we have one other work to do on that. So it can be for equipment, it can be for trails. It's actually for redevelopment. It's not necessarily always new parks, rehabilitation and development of indoor outdoor parks, recreation facilities, trails, community centers. It meets the qualifications. Not only that, but one of the advantages that we do the trail in Pine Run that would connect from the municipality, would be a benefit to the community there. That's something that they look at. So what we did, they do a management report. We're looking for authorization to go ahead and prepare this grant. I think this is one where since only 250,000, there's not a lot that we have to do, but we have to put it in the board for resolution approval. We guess we do that in March. So planning commission for support, we do that in March meeting. We have to do an exhibit plan, which I already have a survey, so I can just update that. And then there's some other stuff that we work with Dan and Alex on. We thought it was a good idea to at least apply for that. We have some money budgeted this year. If we get that grant, it's a 50% match. So it'll be 37,000. We have that already. And that would cover some of our planning and engineering. And then you would push some of that extra money into the following year for equipment. Equipment is included. Drainage is included. Anything with the park and the trail. So it definitely qualifies, just whether it's competitive. It's whether we do
So what is the scope that you would be looking to go for the grant? What exactly would you be looking for? Like, is it the trail that's coming from this part? It doesn't include the top lot, doesn't include this, crossing across the road. Can you give me an idea of what you were thinking?
No.
Okay.
Me, I did. We can talk about it now, or I can talk with Ryan during the day, and Janine put it out there about, looks like trails are really big, and the trails in bad shape over Pine Run. I don't know if that's something we could, we have, here's the problem, we don't have shovel ready. I don't know, and I don't have any recommendations yet, because I don't have costs. So we haven't designed the bridge yet. I asked Janine and Ryan about whether we just repay the trail. They want to widen the trail, and it just, and you got drainage improvements because you're increasing utilities. How we gonna, and then those are just scope creep. So we focus over playground equipment that do drainage improvements. But I know the trail activity is gonna be a lot, in their eyes, as far as.
That's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Again, excuse me.
that's why I'm glad I jumped in.
So we can also look at this as a multi-part grant. So this is one grant. And then we have the DCNR, that's always out there, which we did with the home run, with the DCNR. We're wrapping that up, that's basically buttoned up, complete. So, all right, the project we come up with is, say, for lack of a number, 600,000. We're going to try and get this grant, we're 250. 250. So that gives us 280 with our match, or 290 with our match, whatever. And then we try and get the DCNR grant to do the other part of the project.
I know you interrupt Dan, to tie into that engineering survey, this is how this guys do it. We can use this grant to pay for some of our, to prep for the next grant. It's not always with the infrastructure. We may be able to do that as well, or I think you can go back to your bucket and show some improvements. So just acquisition, or it says even clearing and prepping land. I'd rather not just doing with that. We don't really have that issue, so yeah, this parlays into another.
I think we want to try and shoot for the works. This grant won't get us the works, but it will get us started. And that's the way I would look at it. And then, see if we're competitive in this grant, we'll see if we get it. If we don't, then we go to plan B and we go all our eggs in the DCNR. Right? So we're going to go.
So I guess we haven't we talked about it until we start looking at a little bit more cost and engineering. We have to figure out anything behind you. After that gets there, here's what we go after. Part of that, regardless of what we pick, is description of project. We have to go through all the project narrative, cost estimates, matching fund commitments. They want a color coded map, incurrence required, planning letter, resolution review. So we have to pull all that together, and it's due. They already started. They're accepting February 1st, and the cutoff is May 31st. So by March meeting, we will adopt the resolution. We can narrow that scope. If you have any ideas, we actually do it with Dan. We need start looking at 259. Janine's estimate, she kind of didn't understand a little bit, and so this is going to cover more of the planning and then getting a bigger grant. Really won't go towards that. Leaving the trail and the Pine Run protection bridge even resource.
I thought you had to give us a number estimate for redoing that bridge.
Yeah, I don't have that with you.
I thought, yeah,
what's a million?
we were gonna break it up into
Yeah.
bits and pieces there.
So what I'm looking for is authorization, our office, let's take some legwork to prepare the that's what you should approve to apply for this grant, work with staff.
So you need a motion from us right now? Do I have a motion to approve authorizing Gilmore Associates to move forward on looking at applying for this grant that is due May 31st. The DCED. A motion? I'll make that motion. Bridget, do I have a second? Second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Is that the end of your report? Supervisor's comments. I'll start with Bridget. Also,
You got something?
Yeah.
No?
No, I was surprised and I was gonna say next for the next. Ooh, on the record. Get that one.
Mary Beth?
I just want to extend my thanks to the Public Works Department who have spent their overnight hours on the weekends. Even with their additional pay, they're still working out in the cold to keep the township safe. I do appreciate that. Just a quick report on the last EAC meeting. There was a discussion about while they're completing the already approved pollinator garden out in North Branch, that there was also a grant to be applied for that would provide plant materials, etc., for redoing the front garden. And the match could be volunteer hours. So that hopefully we can start that project, which has been languishing for years, to redo that.
Yeah,
Sure.
I just, they were, EAC did go to the Park and Rec meeting and talked to them about it, and we're going to work together.
Okay. I knew they were doing something other before they presented it. But just happy that they're finding ways and grants and zero cost to the township to do some of these improvements. And I also appreciate that we have the meeting room repainted. I think it looks much better. And, yeah, a little more sophisticated. But I'm happy to.
Yeah, we're trying to do that. We'll do Justin, who would be, and they did a good job. They were under a tight window to do it. They got it. Yeah, storm, but they did a good job. I hired them.
Yeah. Just. Okay. Second.
I'll just echo what Mary Beth said. We've had, after several years of nothing in the winter, we've had a lot of little annoying storms that still take a lot of time and effort from our public works to take care of. And we appreciate everything that they've done to make sure that our roads are clear and safe. And thank you to Chief for all of your guidance with the department. Congratulations to all of our newly promoted officers. We appreciate everything that all of you are doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did meet at the veterans meeting. One of the things that one of the things that was discussed was the possible, we're going to come to the next meeting to discuss revitalizing in a more permanent way and be more accessible to the monument. We will have other discussions about that. This is a lot to think about, including if we do any work to this building. The other thing that came up during that meeting was the Vietnam Veterans Association are looking for bridges, and I don't know how many we have in this township. But some of the things can be bridges that aren't bridges, and they're looking to name in honor of
people that died in the area and trying to make it as close to proximity of either where they used to live, where their family still lives. And this is a bus statewide thing. This isn't just a New Britain township. So they came to us and they said, do you have any bridges that could be dedicated and named after, or potentially parks or other places? But just an FYI that is the initiative. So if anyone has anything in mind, shoot me an email. And also, congrats to our police officers that are prepared really nice seeing all of them tonight here with their families. They give up so much time to make sure that we are protected and safe and take care of our agencies. And yes, a former public works. I get into that because it has been, even though we've only had one really big storm, I think, and the rest still hasn't been because it all has.
We only had a plow once.
Yeah.
Everything else is solid.
Yeah, but still, it takes a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
Keep everyone safe.
But
And
when
have
you saw
great
it,
safety
freezing again,
numbers
so you gotta go back out.
for considering all the weather and things that have happened.
No public comment at this moment. We have announcements. Tomorrow night at 7 PM, we'll have the planning commission meeting. We will be cancelling our next board of supervisors meeting on Monday, March 3rd at 7 PM. The environmental advisory council meeting will be meeting on Wednesday, March 5th at 7 PM. And there is an American Red Cross blood drive here at the township building, Monday, March 10th from 2 to 7 PM. Do you know if there's still any slots available? Yes, there's still slots, so please go sign up on the American Red Cross website.
We also have it on our Facebook.
That's what I wanted to ask. That we are nearing the completion of our website building and that we should have it available very soon. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn? At 8:12? Stephanie, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Mary Beth, all those in favour? Aye. Our next meeting will be Monday, March 17th at 7 PM here in this building. Thank you very much and good night.